All right, so hey my loves, how are y'all doing? So a couple of days ago, Monique, one of the queens of comedy, a legend in the game, she shared her thoughts on women that go out into public with the bonnets and the slippers and pajamas and the scarves and even the blankets over their body. And she finds it to be unacceptable. And I must agree, but I want to discuss the topic a little bit more, okay? Especially with the bonnets, okay? Let's talk bonnets.
You see a bonnet, I see the helmet of salvation.
Yes, honey. So let's talk about the helmet of salvation, also known as the bonnet, and all the above. But before I get into my discussion about, how women present themselves in public, I'm going to play a clip of Monique's discussion about the topic. I'm not going to play the whole video because it's about 5 minutes and 46 seconds or so. I'm going to play about half that time, and then I'll come back in with my commentary.
Y'all have given me the title of auntie, and I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where auntie gotta talk to her babies and say some real shit. So yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30, then we got 7, then we got 10. Right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair? And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you to know that you had it. So my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man. It is just your representation of you, my sweet babies.
As I mentioned earlier, I agree with Monique's thoughts on how women should be, coming out the house and looking presentable and not wearing any clothing or footwear that is worn around the house or worn at night when you go to bed. And I know people can say, well, men should look presentable too when they go out the house. But, let's be real here. Women, have to uphold beauty standards according to society. But, with men, they can go out the house in basketball shorts or some gray sweatpants, honey, and a tee and pick up women in that way. Us, it's different. So, I'm not a fan of slippers in Walmart, bonnets at Target, pajamas at Publix. Like, I'm not here for any of that, honey. But I will say that, we cannot deal in black and white when it comes to this topic. There is some exceptions here. Like, if you're a busy mother, something happens, your child is sick, accident happens, like you got to run to the store. And being a mother is a full-time job, so it's just like sometimes you just got to do what you got to do based off the circumstances. If you have an emergency, who's thinking about the fact that you have a bonnet on your head or slippers on? There's been times when like I've had conditioner setting in my head, and I've had to go out and get something because it was very urgent, and I put my had my shower cap on, of course, but I would put on a scarf, make sure I had on some earrings, and just run to the store and come right back. But overall, I think it's important for a woman to look presentable when she goes out into the world in some decency. Like, it's not going to be every day that you're glammed up, face beat, earrings looking, flashy, and, your clothes looking stylish. Like, it's not always going to be like that, right? You might be having a bad day. It might be that time of the month. It may be a list of things in regards to you maybe going to the store in some sweatpants, sneakers, a t-shirt, and your hair, zhuzhed up, little to no makeup, and it's fine, but as long as you're stepping out looking decent. I was raised to not wear bonnets, hair scarves, hair clips, rollers, pajamas, slippers, or any of that out in public. And I was always told that that's not the ladylike thing to do. And I've always taken that with me. I will say that when I have something going on with my hair, yes, I'm going to put on the decorative scarf with some nice earrings. But to come out in my night attire, no, I'm not going to do that. So overall, like, I try to dress nice and have my matching outfits and smelling good and lotioned up and my hair looking decent, so forth and so on, because that's something that is the feminine thing to do, the ladylike thing to do. I want to present myself well when I go out in public, and I think other women should follow suit. But you don't have to be super glammed up, and beat to the gods, honey. You just need to make sure that you look presentable. But, some women could argue and say, well, I don't want to, be told to dress up decent for a man. I should want to dress up decent for myself. And you know what? That is right. A woman should want to dress up for herself, first and foremost. However, when it comes to men, all right, they are visual creatures. And so, if you're a hypergamous woman, or you're, trying to put yourself out there for a man, like, please understand that men are looking at the sundress. He's looking at the earrings. He's looking at your eyes, honey. He's looking at these things. So let's just be real. So yes, do you, but understand that he's looking too. Also, there are women that will say, oh, why are people trying to police what we wear out in public? Now, firstly, I believe this is a viable conversation in regards to women wearing footwear and clothing out in public that's meant to be worn in the house or at night. I believe that this should be discussed, especially for Black women, because they already look at us a certain type of way. So if we know that we are confident, sophisticated, educated queens, we want to make sure that when we go out in public, we prove them wrong in regards to how they really feel about us. No, you are not your bonnet. Just don't put the bonnet on. I want to change gears here and talk about do-rags, right? And, any woman could be like, well, if a man can wear do-rags, then I can wear my bonnet and my scarf out in public. And here's the thing, as I mentioned earlier, basically women have to uphold beauty standards according to society. Men don't have those same pressures. So for a man to wear a do-rag on his head, it's looked at in fashion. Even if he's trying to set his waves or whatever, he may not have been able to get his hair cut, and he's in waiting, or maybe he's woofing, or maybe he's just wanting to wear a do-rag to match his outfit. Again, overall, it can be looked at in fashion, and opposed to a woman with a bonnet or a raggedy scarf that she wears at night. You can't get away with that like a man can. He could tie that thing up real nice on his head and go out and look good. A woman with a bonnet is looked at like, no ma'am, you're supposed to be wearing that at night. So just to wrap everything up, I agree with Monique. Women should strive to go out in public and look decent so you could be treated with respect. I don't think that women should be wearing what they are supposed to be wearing at night and around their house out in public. I just believe it's very unladylike. So, y'all, leave your thoughts below. Tell me here how you feel about women and how they present themselves out in public. All right, you guys take care.